Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Shigaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vedikadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Swami Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande. To the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, all glories to Babaji. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shmati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tiramane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Tarne. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, so, Hare Krishna. Thank you. So this is our last Darshan in New Jersey for a while. We will be Adarsha. Ardarsha. Adarsha means not seen, at least in New Jersey, for a while. And today I'm going to try to finish the chapter of Nectar of Devotion that we started last night. Hare Krishna. And let's see, maybe we can even go on to the following chapter, depending. How many people are signed up? Okay, so today we're going to continue reading from chapter 26, Stimulation for Ecstatic Love. Krishna's Apparel and Garlands. Generally, there are four kinds of garlands. Generally, there are four kinds of garments on the body of Krishna: his shirt, turban, belt, and wearing garments, meaning the dhoti. In Vrindavan, he used to put on reddish garments with a golden shirt on his body and an orange-colored turban on his head. The different kinds of belts, combined with his enchanting smile, used to always increase the transcendental bliss of his associates. This dress of Krishna is described as gorgeous. As a baby elephant is sometimes dressed in colorful clothing, so Krishna's gorgeousness was manifested by decoration and with such colorful clothing on the different parts of his body. Akalpa refers to the texture of Krishna's hair, his nicely dressed body anointed with sandalwood pulp and decorated with flower garlands, his tilak, and his chewing pan. Krishna was decorated constantly in this akalpa process. Krishna's hair was sometimes decorated with flowers placed on the middle of his head, or else it was reaching down to his back. In this way, Krishna dressed his hair differently at different times. As for the ointment on his body, the pulp of sandalwood generally appeared to be white, and when it was mixed with saffron, it appeared to be yellow. Krishna used to put a Vaijayanti garland around his neck. This Vaijayanti garland is made of flowers of at least 5 different colors. Such a garland was always long enough to touch Krishna's knees or feet. Besides this garland of flowers, there were other kinds of flower garlands too, sometimes decorating his head, sometimes hanging around his neck and chest. Artistic paintings with sandalwood pulp and colored sandalwood were also to be found on the body of Krishna. Krishna is very nicely decorated. And all these decorations are done by his friends. That's what akalpa means. It means that he doesn't do it himself, but his friends and cowherd boyfriends and gopis would decorate him. One gopi addressed her friend and began to praise the bodily features of Krishna. She praised his blackish complexion, the reddish color of chewing pan, enhancing his beauty hundreds of times, the curling hair on his head, the kumkum, red spots on his body, and the tilak on his forehead. This kind of tilak is called urdhva pundra. Urdhva means raised upwards, and pundra means very beautiful. So urdhva pundra tilak is originally worn by Krishna, and kumkum is a red powder or vermilion color powder, which is made into, sometimes made into a paste also, and decorated in different spots on the body. Krishna's helmet, his earrings, his necklace, his 4 garments, the bangles on his head, the rings on his fingers, his ankle bells and his flute, these are the different features of Krishna's ornaments. Krishna, the enemy of Agha, always looked beautiful with his incomparable helmet, his earrings made of diamonds, his necklace of pearls, his bangles, his embroidered garments, and the beautiful rings on his fingers. Krishna is sometimes called Vanamali. Vana means forest, and Mali means gardener. So Vanamali refers to one who extensively uses flowers and garlands on different parts of his body. Krishna was dressed like this, not only in Vrindavan, but also on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Seeing such a colorful dress and the garlands of different flowers, some great sages prayed, Lord Krishna was going to the battlefield of Kurukshetra not to fight, but to grace all of the devotees with his presence. So Krishna is very beautifully decorated. Krishna's flute. As far as his flute is concerned, it is said that the vibration of this wonderful instrument was able to break the meditation of the greatest sages. Krishna was thus challenging Cupid by advertising his transcendental glories all over the world. There are 3 kinds of flutes used by Krishna. One is called Venu, one is called Murali, and the third is called Vangshi. Venu is very small, not more than 6 inches long, with 6 holes for whistling. Murali is about 18 inches long, with a hole at the end and 4 holes on the body of the flute. This kind of flute produces a very enchanting sound. The Vangshi flute is about 15 inches long, with 9 holes on its body. Krishna used to play on these 3 flutes occasionally when they were needed. Krishna has a longer Vangshi, which is called Mahananda, or Sangmohini. And when it is still longer, it is called Akarshini. When it is even longer, it is called Anandini. This Anandini flute is very pleasing to the cowherd boys and is technically called Vangshuli. These flutes were sometimes bedecked with jewels. Sometimes they were made of marble and sometimes of hollow bamboo. When the flute is made of jewels, it is called Sammohini. When made of gold, it is called Akarshini. So these flutes are very wonderful, especially this Anandini flute. It's very long, like that. And it only has like 4 holes in the body, and you play them with these fingers. Like you hold the flute like this, and you play with these fingers. So it's only for playing the lower register of the raga. So there are all these different flutes, and they're for different purposes, different parts of the raga or different parts of the songs that Krishna would play. Next section is about Krishna's buffalo horn. Krishna used a buffalo horn as a bugling instrument. This instrument was always highly polished and circled with gold bands, and on the middle there was a hole. So you see these today in India, a little buffalo horn. It's about this long, and is hollow in the middle, and it has one hole. So the cowherd boys will play it like that. Very distinctive sound. Regarding these instruments, there is a metaphorical statement about a gopi named Taravali. It is said that Taravali was bitten by the most venomous snake of Krishna's flute. Then, in order to neutralize